Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are getting into a fight with the Khalsa Raj. Relations with Jammu are not great. Let's improve them. How are things doing with Burma? Burma is back to Midland in terms of liberty desire. Yeah, we got above -50, so that made it. We're getting a -10 from poor relations instead of a -25 from cold relations, and that's just fine. Punting has retired. That doesn't really impact my politics because the trade unionists are, at present, utterly marginal. The industrialists are slowly increasing in power. We'll see how that goes. All of our interests from last episode are now active, which means we have visibility to a lot more of what's going on in the world than we had before. Now, let's take a look at goods. Steel is still quite expensive, and the reason is because coal is very expensive. Theoretically, the private sector will do something about that, but in practice, it seems it is not. How's our war here going? I can only worry about a few things at once because I'm a laissez-faire government and I can't afford to do stuff while I'm doing stuff. That's just how it is. Interesting. We're mostly using our best soldiers, which I guess does make sense. Wow, look at the size of this army. Heck yes. Oh, I'm so good at video games. I will say, if you can avoid the opium wars and deal with the opium issue, China does start in a very good position, despite their technological shortcomings compared to the European powers. We are really winning over here. And there's egalitarianism. Now, does that mean I have the ability to do... I can turn off mercantilism for free trade. But I still don't have the ability to... How do I get here? Right. This is not going to be good for me. It'll be good for me eventually, but not yet. Here is... We are moving forward to the new front. The enemy is moving back to the new front. There we go. Beautiful. Gold depleted in West Borneo. Well, Lanfang, you're in luck. You've got a lot of gold mines you can have built. You're a little short on infrastructure, though, which is a bit of a problem. Because it means I can't build all the gold mines in you that I would like to build. But I will be able to build railways in you once I've got railway unlocked. So that's not as big of an issue as I am making it out to be. Alright, looks like goods are doing a little bit better. Coal remains expensive, but steel is getting to a more balanced level. Alright, very good. Armies are going over there, armies are going over here. Let's just try and get forces. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, so this war should be done very, very soon now. And there we go. We've got the army almost completely... we got the country almost completely occupied. 200,000 dead, 75,000 wounded. 150,000 dead, 75,000 wounded. Or 150,000 wounded, 75,000 dead. On both sides. Pretty overall productive war, I would say. And we can go after Khalsa Raj more later. Oh. If I take over Chitral, that would open a path to Afghanistan. And if I took over Afghanistan, that would be cool. A grain of power. The corn laws, or taxes on imports, have afforded the landowning classes a great deal of economic leverage, which they use to maintain their influence on Qing policy. It's all well and good to debate economic theory, but we must not turn our eyes away from the reality that theory produces. The promises of the corn laws is that they would protect the interests of Great Qing ring increasingly hollow. Rather, they seem to protect the interests of a select few Qing citizens. One may wonder how many other laws are the same. Every country needs an aristocracy to rule its lessers. 10% of aristocrats become more loyal, much stronger aristocrats. Or a troubling development, 20% aristocrats significantly stronger. I'm going to go with the first one again. I love getting loyalists among the aristocracy. Keeping the scholar officials happy will eventually pave the way for... oh my gosh, what's that? For homesteading. In fact, if I go for homesteading now, I have the ability to get there. You guys are the ones who like homesteading, the rural folk. And no one else cares versus tenant farmers, basically, right? So if I went ahead and did that, I think we're gonna do it. Yeah. No one's gonna be bothered by this. Right, because these dorks like commercialized. They don't care about homesteading. Oh my gosh, we're gonna do it. This will affect your politics. We have 0% stall chance. We have 20% advance chance. I think we can do this. This will make the rural folks significantly stronger than the scholar officials, but not that much stronger. So I'm feeling pretty cool and smart. Van Diemen's Land is improving relations. Oh, that's right. I've got visibility to a bunch of this territory now. That's lovely. That's just lovely. The Egyptians and the Ottomans are shooting at each other. The Ottoman flag looks different to me. What did you do? You became a constitutional monarchy. Hey, that's cool. Do I care about this? Looks like the French are going to side with the Egyptians. Because of their defensive pact. I might be able to get something for myself, but I could also not bother intervening. I think I'm going to not bother intervening for now. We'll continue to focus on the growth of the economy and all that other stuff. We're building these steel mills. We're getting these fertilizer plants built. 2, 2, and 2 used to be the optimal way. Great Britain sides with the Ottomans. France sides with Egypt. Oh, it's a proper Ottoman crisis. The Europeans are getting feisty on both sides. Get in there, Austria. Get him. Get him. This is very funny. Meanwhile, I'll just keep breaking off parts of Central Asia for my personal domain. Oh, a shortage of Automate failed. Gosh darn it. Alright, you're allowed one failure, but it better not happen again. Ottomans, you want our help. A trade agreement. No thank you. Just realized I was low on bureaucracy again, so I figured I would get some government admins built out. Austria sides with Egypt. Alright, that is how that's going to go. Let's get a few more of our tooling workshops. Let's get our big tooling workshops using steel. Legislative failures. Alright. Sponsor complete rewrite. This is rare. A rare circumstance of a debate failing straight out the gate, but it won't happen again. We have the steel capacity now, despite being a little bit short. And we'll soon have another steel mill built. You want to give us an obligation? No. Okay. Ottoman Empire, what can I actually get from you on this? None of this is stuff I want. In fact, I'm inclined to go the other way. Oh, is Russia in on this thing? United Principalities. What is the United Principalities? Is that a French holding? It must be, but where? Wait, no, hold on. Did I do that? I didn't want to do that. That's okay. Sorry. Well, now I'm going to see what's going on. Union Principalities. Who are you guys? You're Romania. Alright, well, I don't actually care about that. Sorry. It was just a misclick. Or rather, it wasn't a misclick. I didn't think... I wasn't thinking about the screen I was in and what that was going to mean. Anyway, that'll slow down escalation for a bit at least. So, I bought you some time, and that's what matters. I say, as Egypt is going to win. Violent suppression leads to increased discrimination. Radicals in Sichuan seem to be getting support from discriminated Tibetan citizens within the state. If they want to protest there, we should let them. We likely only make things worse if we try to force them to submit. If we have to deal with them in the future, they'll all be in one place and easier to take care of. We say where they can and can't protest. Increased radicalism for discriminated states in Sichuan, discriminated pops in Sichuan. Armed forces happy, or let them protest where they want. Armed forces unhappy. Slightly increased radicalism for discriminated pops, increased migration attraction. I'm going to say we say where they can and can't protest. That'll make the armed forces happier, and that's good for me. The armed forces being happy is good for the country overall. Once we got these fertilizer plants and... oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Stop doing that. I swear, if you reverse ace me, I will be furious. If I get oops all setbacks on this, I will be just whatever the opposite of tickled is, I'll be that. Miffed. I'll be miffed. Absolutely miffed. Looks like steel capacity has moved up to demand. So let's go ahead and... oh my gosh, I never started using sweeteners in my food industries. We'll do that. I wonder how many episodes y'all been screaming at me about that. Let's go to steel tools for one more. In fact, we'll do all of them. We'll do all of them, and we'll let the private sector sort it out. There's a steel shortage, and that's for the industrialists to deal with. That's not my problem. I only manage the economy. I don't do the construction. That's another department. Here we go. Now we're doing historical China. Hey, Siam. Oh, right. No, I didn't take over Siam. I took over Burma. Like... I took over... I was about to be like, hey, you should be a... hey, excellent. You should be a vassal instead of a tributary. And then I'm like, wait a minute. You're not a tributary to begin with. I never did get them as a tributary. I got Brunei as a tributary, though, right? Let's increase their autonomy, shall we? Get them wearing nice gold. And come on, railway. One more week. Ooh, I lost a general. Shame. Is he one of my good ones? Maybe. Doesn't seem like it. Alright. So, now... I have railway. So first, where am I short on infrastructure? Aqsa, Shanxi, and Altai. So, Shanxi, railway. Altai, railway. Aqsa... Aqsa's in Mongolia, isn't it? Aqsa. No, it's south of Mongolia. There we go. And we'll put them behind the universities. I have a lot to build and not a lot of capacity to build it. It just is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. Although, I suppose I can increase the size of the construction sector. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's probably the right call. Let's do it. Now that I have the ability to build my own infrastructure, we'll go ahead and do that. Does Beijing have the infrastructure? Hardly. But they will. They will once I finish a railroad. Once they get a railroad, they'll have infrastructure for days. In fact, let's do a large increase to the size of the construction sector, and we'll just put the Beijing Railway in ahead. So all the construction sector increases that are not in Beijing will be a little later, and the Beijing Railway will be after. I know the thing I said did not exactly make a lot of sense just now, but, you know, sometimes the words which come out of my mouth are not well planned, and that is just something that historians will have to parse. Because, again, we're about to hit our gold reserve limit, and while I would love to have a higher gold reserve limit, I don't necessarily have the ability to do that. So now that I've built my first munitions plant, I've built my first munitions plant, right? I didn't make that up? No, not yet. Automate success, we're up to 30%. Heck yes. RNGesus is helping out now. He's got the wheel. Actually, I don't think he's got the wheel, but you know, we're getting there. Harvest conditions couldn't be me. I'll never pay attention to harvest conditions. Never. Well, Burma's liberty desire is going way down now. Now that we got them down to neutral. So we'll be able to make them a vassal in no time. And Brunei is the proper color as well, which makes me very pleased. Diplomatic pact line items went down. Oh, I lost my payroll, my bankroll from Prussia, which I guess makes sense. Wait, did I not finish any of those things? I didn't finish any of those things. I'm so smart and good at video games. Y'all, why didn't you tell me I'm the best? Alright, so it looks like Ottoman Empire might be losing, might not be losing. It could go grab some territory over here. Maybe some over here. I'll see. I'll see. I don't want too much infamy, and I want to keep... I don't want to be doing too much conquest in places I can't do conquest. Marina Kingdom improving relations. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Yes, very interesting. The temptation to put this railway first is huge, my nerds. But I'm actually not... The investment pool is now going down on a macro level, so maybe I don't actually need that. But I on the other hand, I'm over on cash. But no, I should focus on more important things. I should focus on the military. I am still going to build this Beijing railway and these construction sectors, but I think after that it'll be all military all the time. Once we get these universities and whatnot. You know, I'm being a little silly. I'm going to put 3 more government sectors in Henan. I'm just going to get them into the queue because I know I'm going to want to build them eventually. Come on, give me an advance, give me a success, give me an interesting event. No? Okay. Very sad indeed. France colonized Nauru. Excellent. Did I reduce subject payments? I did. Beautiful. The art of doing nothing. Though previously opposing the homesteading laws, Namgang Lungshar has considered the rural folks' political position and instead offers support. While speaking with constituents on matters of law, one must first master the art of appearing to do nothing. While you do everything behind whispers and masked men, indubitably. Welcome their support. I love the word indubitably. It's so much fun. Welcome their support. Stronger interest groups for Namgang Lungshar, who's the armed forces, and for the rural folk, and more enactment chance. Or keep a sharp eye, they're up to something. Slightly more enactment chance. Namgangling Shar is reduced in popularity. We'll do the first one. I'm just going to go for as much enactment chance as I can. This is really going to radically change our politics. I don't know necessarily how, but us together, you and I, we're going to find out. I also need a railway in North Heilongjiang because I'm currently maintaining a road maintenance decree here, and that's not ideal. Ooh, actually, gold mines are fully employed now. That's very good. So maybe I actually don't need my greener grasses campaign. Local prices for coal are still expensive, though. Yeah, they are. Well, it'd be cool if someone built mines, but that's not really my area. Anti-Russian Association has offered the opportunity to establish an alliance with the Ottoman Empire if their proposal, if accepted, is intended to counter Russian interests. It was a veiled sort of aggression, one which could, in theory, appeal to both ardent jingoists and those who prefer to mitigate losses. It would force the enemy to respond, possibly drive them toward a reckless confrontation, in response to a seemingly benign maneuver. A plan to fight Russia to the last Ottoman, one minister remarked. The representative flushed. He'd practiced responses along both lines, but none of them quite fit. We'd be happy to pursue this, or this is not in our interest. I'm just going to say it's not in our interests. I don't need an alliance with the Ottomans. They just lost a war to Egypt, and a bunch of Europeans were involved, but that's still a reasonable summation of the situation, and if it isn't, why don't you put a thing in the comments about it? We're just being silly. We're just being very silly over here. Alright, so I got explosives factories, I got munitions factories. Defamatory article. A newspaper called the Xi'an Evening News has printed a bigoted article about the Mongolian people living there. We can suppress the article, or we can let it be released. He threw the tabloid across the table with a huff. Absolutely vile lies, the lot of it. Alas, that won't matter to those who read it. They'll gobble it right up. He eyed the shocked maid's face, then read it himself. Of course, they'd believe it. We haven't given them proof to the contrary. Suppress it, minus 5% authority, or ignore it, minus 1 standard of living for Mongolian people in Xi'an. Okay, let's be realistic here. What population is that? Oh, 1.3 million. Okay, that's actually quite a lot of people. I'm going to suppress it. It's going to cost me a lot of authority. In fact, I'm going to need to cancel this Greener Grasses campaign, which I didn't really need at this point anyway, but still something I wanted to do. But it is what it is. Political migration. The rich and unstable political environment in Great Qing has proven attractive to political exiles and stateless people who have begun to congregate in the coffee houses of Beijing. Oh, Beijing, you flawed yet fiery jewel, where else could one see 3 different demonstrations within a 5 minutes walk? They're welcome to join the sea of voices, extra prestige and radicals from political movements, and Sun Yat-Sen becomes employed here. Or these people make a mockery of Great Qing. Minus 5% prestige, minus 10% radicals from political movements. Who is Sun Yat-Sen? And he's an authoritarian aligned with the trade unions. You know what? Sure. That doesn't really affect me. The fruits of thy labor. Ah, perfect. Content with the new state of affairs in Great Qing and unwilling or unable to face the uncertainties that life abroad offers, Sun Yat-Sen has officially announced his retirement from political life. So now he's off to Suzhou if the articles are true, to paint, drink, and raise chickens. Seems that hurting men gives one a taste for hurting God's simpler creatures too. Maybe he just likes chickens, Fu. Shut your bloody mouth, Shut your bloody mouth, Ma. Even firebrands cool off in the end, it would seem. Slightly stronger trade unions. Or let us honor his memory, a bust in Beijing, perhaps. I don't really care about either of these. We'll go with slightly stronger trade unions. I think that's fine. That's completely reasonable. Burma, are you ready to be a tributary yet? Or a vassal, or what the fuck ever? No? Still? Alright. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The fickle crowd. You are bombarding me with events, sir. You are just eventing the bejesus out of me right now. The populous base of the rural folk have turned against supporting foreign entanglements. Pressure from within the group has led them to distance themselves from the anti-Russian association. Qing needs first. The people say no to foreign entanglements and no to foreign treaties. Prosperity at home or chaos abroad. No foreign power could successfully attack a fortified China. It was a mistake to rely on them. They leave the Anti-Russian Association, or they must steer clear of these populist tides. Leaving the Anti-Russian Association is all benefits from my perspective. It was a mistake to rely on them. They can get out of there and be happier doing the thing they're doing. Hey, I no longer even have an Anti-Russian Association. That's fun. Let's end this embargo and expand and improve relations. I didn't need that embargo anyway. One day you will enjoy my sugar. My delicious sweet sugar. Law debate success. We're up to 39%. Feeling pretty good. No stall chance, 40% debate chance. I feel reasonably confident that I can pass it under those circumstances. Standard of living has been steadily inching downward, despite the fact that we've been building a lot of industry. Have we been building textiles? We have been. Wow, actually, there's a market for art. That's a shock, because there's almost never a market for art in a country. I know that sounds like a silly thing to say, but, you know, it's true. So once we get... I should be a little bit more conscientious about managing the demand for fertilizer here. So we have a lot of ammunition flowing into the country right now. From France, Prussia, Britain, and America. Right away, the two smallest of those, America and Britain, I'm going to cut. I'll leave the one with America for now. I'm about to build a munitions plant. Let's go ahead and get our next army upgraded to skirmish infantry. In fact, we'll do 2 at once. And that should jumpstart the munitions market. And if we need to reduce these trade routes, then we'll reduce these trade routes. But for now, it's not creating a shortage. These numbers are going up. Alright, that's okay. That's okay. It's still very expensive, though. And it will be better if we can build them in our own factories. Fractional distillation. Excellent. Law debate failed. Alright, we're down back to 30%. Explosive shortage. Okay. Right, because our munitions plants are trying to hire now, but they're not finding enough explosives. So now... maybe our explosives factories start employing? Chitral wants to give us investment rights. No thank you, sir. Maybe our explosives factories will start hiring? Where am I building all? Where did I build all this stuff? Tell me I didn't build it somewhere stupid. I don't know where it would be a stupid place. There's got to be a better way. Here, in northern Anhui. Okay, so it's the explosives factories are currently, they're hiring though. They're trying to hire. This place has universities, so there should be qualifications getting distributed here within a reasonable timeline. They're all struggling to hire. So I think maybe, yeah, I need to cut one of these trade routes, and I think the one I'm going to cut is the one from France. We'll see if that keeps the market running. We're not in a shortage yet. Yeah, they're flexing to accommodate, unfortunately. Unfortunately for what I'm trying to do. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut both of these trade routes. So now, munitions plants are confirmed. Russia claims Ili and Altai and Kyrgyzia. Russia. You fool. You're going to need to suck on my skirmish infantry if things keep going like this. Come on, give me... Hey! Excellent. We've experienced success. Alright, so, Northern Anhui. Alright, explosives factories are now profitable. So now it's just the fertilizer plants. We're building this railway in the capital. That's nearly done. There should be... Yeah, there's a bunch of unemployed pops, so this should be slowly working on increasing standard of living here as well. Fertilizer plants, you are having a hard time because of the high price of iron and... There's something going on with Perak. What's going on with Perak? The British and French are shooting at each other over Barak. We got a lot of, Oh, interesting. Tunis is a protectorate of France. I didn't even realize. That's curious. Alright, so we're starting to build more here in northern Anhui now. Fertilizer plants are still having a little bit of a hard time hiring. They're not going to hire because they don't have any clerks available. So that's not ideal. I think what I want to do is grab some farms and go to a more fertilizer-intensive production method. That's going to make the fertilizer industries more profitable. That's going to get them hiring. Obviously, it's going to make the explosives factories less profitable. But hopefully, as we go here, we'll be able to get these things balanced out. This is always a little bit of a hard time when you're in early industrialization, trying to get your internal supply chains running to where they're supposed to be. Do any of these places use coal? Yep, I definitely put this in the wrong place, but that's okay. Hey, we're in adoption. We're in adoption. Oh, and we're short on engines. Right, because I need motor industries, because I need engines to run my freaking railways. We will import them from Prussia. We'll set them to protect domestic supply. Ammunition we'll set to no priority right now for tariffs. And I've run myself out of bureaucracy once again. So I'll grab the barracks that or the government admins that I started building forever ago, and get those properly under construction. That being said, I think this has actually been a long episode. Yeah. Oh no, not too long. But we are at the end of the episode. So, we're moving steadily. Let's move a little bit more steadily towards homesteading. I think we can get it this episode. Devout scandal. It's been revealed that Liu Sun of the Confucian scholars has been having a secret affair with a member of the clergy. His resignation is being demanded. The very fact that this sneaky bastard thought he could get away with such a gross misuse of power shows everything wrong with the leadership of the Confucian scholars. The people must know of his depravity, minus 50 popularity, or ignore it, minus 25 popularity. The people must know of his depravity. Do a promotion. The Scholar Generals demand the promotion of Major General Zhao Shen, touting his history of loyal and effective service. Didn't that guy die? He's a different guy. So many medals adorned his jacket that one could scarcely see the fabric beneath, but it was not yet enough. Chest puffed out with pride, the general smiled as he imagined the look on Xian's face when the field marshal learned of his imminent ascension. The rivalry was legendary among the officers. At last, he would have his due. That's fine. He can get up to level 3. I think we had that exact event earlier on, or an exact copy of that event. Oh my goodness. August and July really are the big months for events. Cause without a rebel. Although Nabdao Lungshar is still fighting for his cause, no one is following him anymore. Despondent, Lungshar has started publicly remarking that he may give up on his activism altogether. What's the point? Speakers only have any speak at empty halls and in empty chairs. There's no crowds, no banners. If anyone pays attention at all, they never understand a thing we're preaching. What reason is there to stay here? We're all stuck doing nothing. Perhaps you can find greener pastures elsewhere, or no time for timidity. The movement needs drastic change. If I do the first one, he's exiled. If I do the second one, liberal movement has an equal chance of getting stronger, weaker, or more active. I'll do the second one. I'm not going to check. I am going to check. Yep, failed relaunch, weaker. Same thing as happened last time. That's okay, though. These things are known to happen. Oh, boy, another event. Good, not foreign. The influx of foreign investment from Prussia has aroused fears among nationalist groups. The rural folk, ever weary of foreign subversion, have begun lobbying against Prussian interests. They build all their factories from cardboard and lead chips, and their steel is fit only for razor blades. And even then, if you can use them, they're liable to give you bruises. The circle of men at the table roared with laughter. The man with the red cravat gave a knowing smirk and continued with his pitch. If we let them buy up our land, there'll be a Prussian spy in every dormitory within the year. I know them well. I spent a month in Berlin, you see. What is to be done? A new anti-country lobby is created targeting Prussia. Or a collection of paranoid children. A new anti-country lobby is created targeting Prussia, and the rural folk get salty and weaker. I'm going to go with the first one. I don't want the rural folk to be weaker while I'm working on homesteading. The rural folk are about to get, hopefully, a lot stronger. That's the theoretical effect of increasing the size of the of doing homesteading. Let's go ahead and swap the positions of these various industries in the build queue. And we'll get the munitions plants done first, and we'll see what kind of effect that has. Alright. The Qing French League with the armed forces is formed, so they like the French. Alright. All these businesses are rising in employment now, finally. So that is very good. And can we get homesteading? I really do desire homesteading. I desire to homestead. Please, please let me homestead. Please. I desire to have a house and land of my own. Law advancement. Got up to 45% success chance. Next time for sure. Next check will be in January. We'll go to that point. And if it doesn't work, then we'll end the episode. And we'll finish it out in the next episode. This is still doing pretty well. Investment pool is alright. It's not increasing, it's not increasing too much. The private sector is actually building a ton of stuff. They're building all kinds of goodies. Are they building the coal mines that we need? Not really. Private sector is really having itself a hard time figuring out how to supply that which I require. I'm going to set a bunch of things we're just overproducing tons of to encourage exports, because I think it'll be fine if just anyone anywhere in the world buys all of this stuff. Where's liquor in this? Liquor's actually doing okay, though. We're doing okay. We're producing a lot of Gowling wine, which, if you've ever had it, you know that it's a singular liquor with a singular taste. By which I mean that a lot of people who aren't familiar with it think it tastes bad. I've never tried it. I would like to try it at some point. Some people have said very disparaging things about it. I think they're being dramatic. I have had some really bad liquors in my life. I suspect Gowling wine is not as bad as the internet would have you believe. But I am extremely curious. Come on, give me homesteading. Well, we're up to 60% at least. Anyway, that's all the time we got for this episode. And it's getting late, so you're hearing my liquor opinions. So that means it's time for me to stop Let's Playing. My nerds, I've been having a great time playing as China. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you're having fun as well. And I will see you on the other side.